This is Phil Singer. Thank you for taking the time to come by and take a look at this tutorial. What I wanted to do was show you a few tools I use to develop static websites as well as dynamic ones. I'm going to talk about a product called LiveReload, SASS, also known as SCSS, Compass, Blueprint, Bootstrap, and a few other goodies all in one. And let me just start off by talking about SASS. SASS is a language that is used to compile CSS and gives quite a few benefits on a large website. It offers reusability. You can create functions and reuse them. It allows people to create variables and reuse those. It also exposes some functions that allows the user to create variations. And as everybody knows, there are different kits like WebKit and Alpha tools and IE as well as Chrome and Safari that allow the declaration of gradients and round corners and boxes, etc. What SASS does is it allows you to create functions to generate that stuff. As you know, there's quite a few products on the web like Blueprint CSS and Bootstrap, and there's 960 and a few others. And what they have done is a group of guys at Compass have taken all these CSS frameworks and encapsulated them in one big massive framework. So you can tell the SASS framework, hey, I'm building a Blueprint website, pull in all the Blueprint CSS and expose it as properties that I can set and change overall. Now, SASS can be run from the command line and it can be told to watch a directory, and it works just fine. It's totally free. Compass can do the same thing as well. The guys at Compass, somebody put together a nice app that runs in the toolbar. And one of the advantages you get out of that is it gives you a history as well as instantaneous completion of setting up a Compass project as well. So I could come in here and whack the 960 project and it will inject that into whatever particular one I have open. So right now I've got open and monitoring this website, the Guido S. Guerra Children Fund site. And I'm using SASS or SCSS. By the way, I interchange SCSS and SASS regularly through this demo. And that's because at some point they changed the convention from SASS to SCSS, but they support both. If you need more information on the language, you can go to sass-lang.com. Compass can be found at compass-style.org. You can find more information on blueprintcss.org, and Bootstrap is off of GitHub. I think 960 has its own website as well. So I'm using Compass to monitor a directory called this website, and I'm using another product called LiveReload, which is both a service running on my box as well as a plugin in the browser. LiveReload, I can tell it to watch a directory and send a reload command to my server or reload to my browser, and it will reload the page. So I can quickly assess how my CSS changes are occurring. You can get that at livereload.com. And the plugins are available for Firefox, Safari, and I think Chrome. I don't think IE has it available. So let's go ahead and look at the subject website. I'm working with Map Pro. You can use XAMPP if you want. It's just a little Apache server. There's a reason why I like Map. It allows me to create bogus DNS entries in my local server, and it also has a whole bunch of built-in control panel stuff for MySQL. This is the page I'm going to actually show you in progress. As you can see, I've got a series of pictures in a grid type dynamic flow here. These are all divs. Just kind of focus in on them a little bit. It's each div is a Polaroid photo with an href and an image in it, and they are all contained in a div called photo container and another div with an ID of meet our kids and another div called content. So I've broken up all the dynamic content gets injected into the content div. Each page has a unique ID too, which will allow me to create exceptions in the CSS for different flow items. So here's the CSS language, and it's hierarchical in nature. So as we walk through it, I'll explain it. So this is inside a content div with the bang representing the ID of the content, and that's an about page. There's a contact us, a donate, and right here is the meet our kids page with the photo container class and the Polaroid photo. So let's go ahead here and let's increase the margin. I'm going to increase it to 20. What you'll see now is when I save this file, Growl will create a dialog over here from the actual Compass application, and the plugin that I have LiveReload going on here will reload the page for us automatically. So let's go ahead here and save this. I've just made that change, and there I've saved it, and let me scroll down here so you can see it. There we go. Do you see that I reloaded the page instantly? That's not good enough for me. Let's go to 40 and see what happens. And I just saved it again, and there we go. You can see that it has put a decent amount of space between everything. Now I could try to try a left child or a right child effect with some padding, or margining, but I think since I'm inside the container itself and I just want everything shifted over, I'm going to try to put some padding on the container. On the left side, I'm going to try a 10 pixels, and let's see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and save it, and let's see. That's not good enough. Let's try 20. Saved it again, and did it reload? So fast I didn't see it. Let me hit the reload button. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So as you can see here, got some decent spacing going on. Looks pretty good to me. And let's take a look at the CSS that got generated by this particular language so you can understand what happened here. Here's screen, and let me search for meet our kids. So that code sensed that there was children or inheritance in the CSS, and it broke out all the identifiers for the CSS. That's not exactly the best way of doing it. I use this technique when I want to create specific exceptions. So I might actually, I know why I did this. I'm using the photo container in other places as well as the Polaroid photo. I need it to behave as an exception on the page at this location, so that's why I did it that way. So that's it in a nutshell. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and shoot me an email. I can probably elaborate a little bit more on SCSS and SASS without the kids in the background. I appreciate your patience with that, and I hope you enjoyed this video.